Good day. My usual question is, introduce yourself and tell us why you picked this particular recipe.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name is Rocio Williams. I live in Marion. I am the pastor of the faith community Churros and Chocolate. And I'm originally from Mexico. We travel to Mexico often, once a year. And one of the things that we like the most is try churros, because churros is one thing that is like very traditional from Mexico. So every time we get the chance to go to Mexico, we go to those hidden places in Mexico City to find the best churros, and my kids just know that that's part of our trip. And of course, because it's something that we love so much, that is something that also we thought, there's nothing like churros and a cup of hot cocoa to call for community. And that's one of the things that we thought about when we started planting this bilingual church here in Marion. And so one day we invited all our friends to have churros and chocolate and Bible study. And that started a whole church. We've been meeting for 6 years now. And so it's very close to my heart, the churros and chocolate part. So I'm glad that I get to share. It's a very simple. Hopefully, it'll be so simple that you'll think you can do it and enjoy it today.
You mentioned you always go to the secret little small places to find the best churro. What do you think is the best churro? It seems like they're so simple that they're all the same, no?
Yeah, it is not that simple. You'll find out that I think for us, we think the best churro is the one that it's fried correctly. Like there's some churros that might be too hard, or there's some churros that might be too soggy. And we think that the best churro is the one that is like crispy on the outside, but it has like a soft in the inside.
Okay.
That's for us what we usually look for. And Truman, my dog, says yes, he does too.
You have an assistant to clean up if something drops.
Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, if every time I make churros, like he'll be like right here beside me every time. Yeah, it's crazy.
So what I liked about this is these are very common ingredients. If you're most of the things, with the exception of a milk, I have, it's all stuff that I have in my kitchen, Now, I was thinking I would use evaporated milk. I held up condensed milk, wrong one.
Yeah.
Evaporated milk.
You could use evaporated milk. Now, the milk, you are thinking about your chocolate, right? The recipe for the chocolate. Right.
Yeah.
Right. See, you could totally use that. We personally, because the chocolate it's already sweet, I just use half and a half. That would give it like the consistency of the not so runny, but so that's what I usually eat. So it's not like over sweet, because it already the churros already covered in sugar and cinnamon. So but I've seen other recipes that call for condensed milk as well. So I guess it's just preference.
Well, I like just keeping condensed milk or evaporated milk. I mean, evaporated milk, I can just add water to it and it's regular milk.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to worry about having, fresh milk, but.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would recommend, so it's not so sweet, probably use a condensed.
So, all right. For the people cooking along, of course you got your recipe. But but I also put it in the chat to make it a little easier to follow along. All right. What do we want to start doing first?
I think before we start, we're gonna start. Sorry, with definitely with the churros, and so it will not be too hot to eat, and then we do the horchata so we can enjoy them too.
I've had churros one time in Mexico that I remember, and it was from a street cart.
Oh,
It was a guy just on the side of the road,
yep,
just fresh fried, and you, like you said, it was in like a little paper bag.
yep.
And I started eating it, and it was too hot. I needed to wait a couple minutes.
That's exactly right.
It was just, yeah.
It's one of those things with churros. Churros is one of those things that you have to eat fresh. Like I can make churros for tomorrow, but they will not be good. Like they will be soggy. The taste of the oil is just not good after, the next day. So yeah, churros is you make them now and you eat them today. It's the best, I think. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with that. So the recipe that you have there, it really calls for I'm using a little more of the recipe for the oil. It says here that for the dipping, it says that it's just 2 cups. I'm using a little more of the vegetables. Let me show you.
Oh, for frying, yeah.
For frying, yes. I just like.
So we should start heating the oil now, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, if you can go ahead and do that. This is so I'm putting like 2 inches in the pan, and I'm using just this regular pan that I have. I don't have a deep fryer, so I'm just using this pan, and I'm putting like 2 inches of I use vegetable oil, canola oil. So you can do that. I'm gonna start frying, and the thing is that you want to have it hot enough that this one has been heating for a while because I didn't want to make you wait, guys. But so I have it in, let's say, 4 out of 10. Okay, so you don't want it super hot because when you put your churro inside, it's just gonna burn. So you want it.
Okay, let me turn it down then.
You can start also, if you're gonna do it along with me, you could start also with maybe a 6 out of 10, and then in 5 minutes or less, more like 3 minutes, we're gonna turn it down to 4 out of 10, and we're gonna try to keep it there in a 4 out of 10, so it will stay in the same temperature, but it's gonna still be hot. So while that heats up, I think we should go ahead and do maybe and that one is also like super simple. You're gonna need hot water, or also the recipe calls for boiling water. But it can be also just like super hot water, not necessarily boiled. Because the reason for that is you just want it to mix well. So that's the reason why it's hot. And we can grab a Ziploc. So this will be like our pipe. We're gonna pipe out of a Ziploc.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
I use very simple. I don't own anything, complicated. I really just use and I just make a little here, a cut here in my Ziploc to just very, very little.
So you just cut off the very small corner, yeah?
Very, very small corner. Yes. So if you have one of those stars, it'll be better because that will be like the original shape of the churro.
That you can cut a star?
Oh, how do you call those? Those like plastic thingies.
Oh yeah, the little thing that you put for pastry, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
A star shape, yeah.
Yeah, the star shape, yeah.
I thought you meant cut a star in the plastic. I was like, no way.
We're gonna try your skills, your cutting skills. No, I'm not that that skillful.
All right.
Okay, so let's go back to the dough. So we're gonna follow here the recipe, and we're gonna need. So we're gonna do. We're gonna make our first batch, which I think is the best. I've tried to do like several batches at the same time, and it's just the dough is just not. I don't get the good consistency, so I would just like do like
Make one batch at a time. Yeah.
Yes, and also for frying too. You don't want to put too many there. But let's start with the dough, and with this one we're gonna put just one cup of one cup of flour.
And then you said warm or hot water?
We have a cup of, and then we're gonna put a little bit of baking soda. Yeah, I mean, sorry, baking powder. We're gonna put one.
I always confuse the two, so make sure you use the right one.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so
I don't know how many times when I'm baking I confuse the two.
You've done that? Yes.
Baking powder.
Yes, same thing here. Okay, now we're gonna put once you have your flour in there, you're gonna put 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Now, I would recommend when you open your baking powder to put the date on the top, because I noticed that the longer it's open, the weaker it gets.
Ooh, that's good to know.
Yep. And so you might have to add a little extra. So let's see, what does it say? 1 teaspoon.
You know what? That's exactly what I was going to do before you mentioned it. Just add a little bit more.
Now I've done the exact opposite where I put too much and it made it taste a little funny.
Yeah, totally. All right, so we have that, and then we're just gonna add a pinch of salt.
Oh, where'd my salt go?
Yeah.
I use salt so rarely.
Okay, and then we're gonna put 1 tablespoon, sorry, of canola oil.
Someone got me this measuring thing. It says a tad, a dash, a pinch, and a smidgen. And they're all like little. All right.
Got it.
Flour, baking powder, salt, and then what do we say? Oil.
Just 1 tablespoon.
All right.
We're just gonna. I will mix it just now. I'm gonna give it a mix here. And what I usually do is I'll just make a little like circle in the middle, or like a little hole in the middle. Water there.
Oh, like a little well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I don't have all the like correct.
I like using wide, deep pans. I used to use like deep ones, and it'd be harder to mix. So I find the wider the pan, the more I like it.
Okay.
Now you mix it. You always mix it with a spatula, or do you ever use like an egg beater thing like this?
I usually use my wooden spoon. I couldn't find it today.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna use this one. If you have a wooden spoon,
has the secret ingredient. That wooden spoon has a secret flavor in it.
There's something about wooden spoons.
Oh, I love your spoon. It holds on the side. Look at that.
Yes, this is one of this is a sign. I've had it for years, but to make churros, I like to use my spoon. pan it today. But so once we have this, we're just gonna do one cup of boiling water. So I had it already warm here, but you can like warm it up in the microwave too.
And why do you think you use warm water? Is that to activate the baking powder, I think?
Yes, also because I think it's much better. It just like,
Or you just pour the whole thing in, yeah.
yes, and you just it also dissolves a lot better.
I wonder why someone hasn't invented a thing where they put baking powder or soda in little packages of foil and you can just open them up and they're like 1 tablespoon and you sell them
A
in a
single
box
use.
or something. Yeah.
I've seen that with baking yeast, but never with. Yeah. Oh, it's starting to bubble.
Mm-hmm. So, or you wanna do like mixing until you see that there's
Get all the lumps out.
Exactly.
I don't know. I always like to use my egg beater for this part, but I think if you do it too vigorous,
That's the thing.
You're muted, Suzanne.
Thanks, Fred. How thick should the batter be?
A what?
How thick should the batter be?
So it should be in a consistency that, see, this is, I think this is good.
Okay.
So when you lift
oh,
the
so pretty
spoon,
thick. Mine is very thin.
yours
Yeah,
is
mine's
very
thin.
thin. Yes. So just put a little bit
I need
of,
to add some more flour.
little bit,
Yeah.
yes, more flour. But I think I'm gonna put a little more too. You don't want it too runny because it's just gonna be really hard
Okay.
for the churro to stay in place once you.
So when you squeeze it out, you want it to have like a shape. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I put a little bit
So
of.
you really want this
mine
really
too.
thick then, almost like bread batter.
Yes.
Guys need to add more flour then. I'll tell you how this comes out because I'm using gluten-free flour.
Ooh.
Because so
Interesting.
we'll see if that's just what I can eat. So
Okay. That'll be
I
cool
think,
to see because my son is also gluten-free and I've never made churros with gluten-free. So it's gonna be interesting.
yeah, I'll tell you.
I think
Sometimes.
this is about the consistency you wanna have.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so mine needs even thicker. This is my third time putting flour. Let's see, the main ingredients of this flour is
The little gadgets that you use at the end
rice
is
flour.
called a piping tip.
Piping tip. That's exactly right.
And I think I have one somewhere here, but I want to use the simple method of going through the bag. So yeah, I think that's.
Okay, so once we have that, we already have the ziploc that we cut, right? So what I do, it makes it easier, I just put the ziploc bag, cover the cup like that.
Oh, in a cup.
So the corner, I leave the corner on the side. Just kind of like.
Oh, which one's the corner? Okay, that one.
Now,
put the corner down inside the cup.
Right. If you have one of those pipe tips that we were talking about, you will put it right now.
Look at Suzanne's.
I picked up something from IKEA. You can get them really cheap from IKEA, and it's silicone, so you can reuse it.
Yes,
Wow,
I love it.
cool.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's cool.
That's perfect.
It's my first
Oh,
time using
I'm
it,
off
so we'll see
camera.
what
Let me get
happens.
back on camera.
This is a test.
What made
It looks much cuter for sure.
so I do not like just buy things spontaneously unless it has to do with cooking. It's just like I definitely.
Now be careful because your dough it's hot, right? So I made the mistake one time and put it like it was like super hot and it melted the bag.
Oh, your water was too boiling.
Yes, exactly. That's why now I just put like very hot water and not boiling because that time completely melted the Ziploc.
Why do you think you put hot water? Is it just to activate the baking powder?
Yeah, I think it's both.
I know you do that for yeast for bread. You want warm water.
Yeah, you can kill the yeast if the water's too hot when you use yeast.
Right. For yeast, I know you want warm water.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to figure out why we need hot water for this one.
So
I like the idea that it melts the salt.
it melts the salt, yes, and
It
it
incorporates it better.
really dissolves the lumps very well. Okay, so also let's just leave that. If we had enough time, I would put this in the refrigerator for like 1 hour. So the consistency will even it's a lot better. It's more like how to say like moldable or like when this is a little harder. And also my kids love like shapes like churros in the shape of like hearts. So when the dough is a little harder, it's a lot easier to do those kind of things. But I would for now let's just use it like that. Let's let it cool for a little. What if this one cools, let's make the sugar and the cinnamon that will be the coating.
Okay, I'll go put this in the fridge for a couple minutes then.
I would,
put it in the fridge.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
All right, so I'm just gonna grab like a pan that is flat, like a flattened pan, so that will be easier for you to coat your churros.
Oh, you need one that's probably a bigger one than this one because you need it long enough for the churro to fit in.
Well, it depends on what kind of churros you like.
How
I
big,
usually just made
Make them in a kind of a circle, or you can sort of make your churro in a circle and it'll fit in the smaller pan.
You know what? That's what.
So what do you think?
Pipe it, when you pipe
I think
it.
I'll use this one. It's a thicker
Yes.
pan for the induction too.
When you're piping, so I've seen that in Mexico. They pipe the churro in a circle, and they just kind of go around and around and around.
Right, it fits better in the pan.
Yes, and then they just like once it's
Isn't that
like
called an
right on
elephant
one
ear?
side, they turn it around and they just cut it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So let's do the thing, and for that it's like super simple. We're just gonna add sugar and we're gonna add cinnamon. So the recipe, the link in the recipe, it says like one quart of cup, but I'm gonna do a half because I like them to be like really good coated.
Okay, so this is after they fried. You're gonna dip the churros in sugar and cinnamon.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do half of sugar, half cup of sugar. Now, if your oil starts like smoking like mine, turn it down a little. Okay.
All right. The sugar.
We have the sugar, half cup of sugar. And then we're gonna do, I'll do three tablespoons because I put a little more sugar. I'll just do like teaspoons of. Now my spoon is like half, so I'm gonna do 3. Okay. Just basically just like stir this and mix this until you get the sugar and the cinnamon.
Now, do they have other flavors? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen churros except cinnamon flavor, but
You've never seen
I
churros
don't know.
before?
Do they have no churros with different flavors? Like, I don't know, maybe
Oh,
instead of cinnamon.
yeah. I haven't either. I've seen some with cinnamon and some without cinnamon. You know, there's people don't like cinnamon, so you can only do like sugar. That's what I have seen.
I met someone who was allergic
Your
to
shirt
cinnamon.
says
Yeah.
churro chocolate, so maybe you could have powdered chocolate or something there.
Ooh, that would be good to
Powdered
try.
chocolate.
Or if you're in the US, you could have pumpkin spice.
Ooh,
No,
yum.
no. Now you could have the spices that are supposed. Pumpkin spice is an artificial flavor.
Yeah.
Now it's made to taste like real flavors, but yeah, I have a personal vendetta against artificial flavors. You want pumpkin spice? Put some cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice together, and guess what? You have
Yeah.
real pumpkin spice.
There you go.
There you go. Exactly. Use that.
What I have seen though is that they put some other stuff in the dough. Like I don't know if you have tried cardamom. Cardamomo is in Spanish.
Ooh,
I've seen people that put that in their churros dough. I don't know. I might try one day. That would make it a different flavor, but all right. So we have our sugar ready. Okay, so this is how we're gonna coat, right? Our churros. So what I have here is 2 plates. And in one, sorry, we're just gonna use this one because I'm gonna use this one with the sugar. This one, I'm gonna cover it with a napkin, with a paper towel. So when the churro comes out, I'm just gonna put it here on the paper towel. So we will soak a little bit of the oil, so it's not too oily.
okay, do that first.
Do that first, yes. So I usually just put like double. Okay, so have them close. Like I'm gonna put my sugar like right here. And I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna put, so see how I'm gonna transfer them. Try to make it like the station that it will work easy for you. So they're gonna come out of here. I'm gonna transfer them right here. And after like a few minutes, I'm just gonna move them here. And then I'm gonna put them in my plate. So work out your station that is easy enough for you to move from the oil to the napkins, to the cover, and then finally to the plate where you're gonna place them.
How do we tell if the oil is hot? I used to do the little drip
Yep.
water in there. And then it was what? Get a bamboo what is it?
Skewer.
I think
Chopstick.
you can stick your wooden spoon in the hot oil too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, for turning, I'm gonna use this one, so
Tongs.
yeah, that's for turning. If you have some of these tongs, that'd be best, just so you can grab the churro better. All right, so let's go get our dough.
All right, I'm gonna not rush this part. I'm gonna watch you do one.
Okay.
I
Now,
tend to rush
remember,
things.
you don't want the dough to cold. You just want it like cool down a little, but you don't want it to cold either, because it's not, the timing of the frying is going to be a lot longer.
Gonna pipe it right into the hot oil in the pan.
Yeah. So the way I usually try out is I just like drop a little, and you should start like boiling right away.
So, or you just put a little bit of your pipe, before you start piping, you just put a drop of it in your pan and see what happens.
Exactly.
To
All
see
right.
if the oil is, if it, there you go, just a little squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
If it starts
See.
like bubbling right away,
Yeah.
it's ready.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Perfect. Now try to leave it in a 4 out of 10 heat.
Oh, I have mine at 5. Let me turn it down.
Yeah, you gotta move it down because they're gonna start burning.
So you want to slow cook it.
So what is the temperature? If you're talking 4 or 5, what does that convert to?
Oh, so it's
If you have a thermometer, an oil thermometer, it will probably be 375.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, that will be like the best temperature.
oops.
This is where an induction burner is really good because you can dial up the temperature on the induction burner.
Well, I've got an induction burner, and that's
Oh.
what I'm using.
Perfect.
Mine's at 345.
So it's saying that
On an
on this one
induction
it's
burner,
saying
you can have it in like 1 to 10 or 1 to 20, but you can also have it by temperature on your induction burner.
Yeah, mine just has temperatures, but right now, it says 275, but when I test the oil, it's 345.
Okay. I would do maybe just a little bit higher, but not too much.
Okay.
All right.
all right, I'm ready, I think.
Okay.
All laid out.
All laid out. So now we're gonna start like piping, right? The churro. And like I said, it really it's as long as you want it to be, but I usually do long ones so we can dip it better in chocolate, and I can put more. So I usually do like maybe like 3 or 4 the small churros. So let me-
Kind of short ones across the pan.
exactly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start like piping my first one.
Nope, that didn't come out good.
That's why you need a
My hole's
piping
too
tip.
big.
That's why you need a piping tip.
Maybe you make a too big of a hole.
Yep, too big of a
Suzanne's gonna
hole.
be the star here with her piping machine.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know about that.
There's a reason they use piping tips.
I lost mine. I think I threw
You
it
buy
in
them
the
at
trash
Yeah,
by
you buy them
mistake.
where there's 5 in the box or something. Oh, look, or there they are. There's her churros are in the oil, floating around.
Yes.
Yeah, don't
So we're
even
gonna
look at
leave
mine. Mine's a mess.
We're gonna leave them around like 4 minutes. I mean, sorry, 2 minutes each side. Really, the taste. I mean, the shape is cute, and the star, it's like that would be the right churro, right? But honestly, the flavor, it's exactly the same. but the
I'm
real
gonna try to
churro is
put a
the
rubber
one with
band
this
to close that
star.
other corner. I'm making a mess. All right, I closed the other corner.
I'm gonna send you piping tips for your birthday, or
I feel like I have some somewhere here that I didn't want, but I should have looked for them, yeah. Okay, instead of,
where did you
Try it
get
again.
yours, Suzanne, again? Tell us.
IKEA.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Just that. Don't overcrowd your.
It looks a little runny to me, or
yep.
It is.
a little too
I
much
think
liquid, I think.
the gluten-free, it has that consistency. It's hard to. But let's see. So mine
I
look.
could add more flour, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But look, mine are like golden, and I think
Here, I'm gonna switch it, move this closer to me. So
that
make it a
golden. So
little-
you're gonna go 2 minutes each side. Yeah, this definitely will look much better with the start tip. So bad I lost. Threw it away along with the Ziploc bag.
This is more like, what do they call them? Elephant ears, where you just drizzle a whole bunch randomly.
There you go. That's
They
So-
definitely do not look pretty. Mine don't.
I think Suzanne with the pipe tip is gonna look much better. So while I leave those rest in the napkin to soak a little bit of the oil, I'm just gonna go ahead and do another batch.
I think in Mexico, I even saw them using something like a caulking gun.
Uh-huh.
You
Yes, I
know,
think
where
I've
you
seen it.
use it to go around your bathtub and caulk and stuff like that. I think I saw somebody using something like that.
And while this cook, I'm just gonna grab the ones that are already that were on the napkins, and I will just put them in the cinnamon. And then just gonna-
All right, I'm sorry, I have to eat one of these already.
I've already eaten two.
Okay,
If
that
they
was too crunchy.
okay, so the idea is that it's crunchy outside. It's golden brown outside.
Doesn't taste doughy in the middle.
Exactly. That's when you know. So maybe the next batch, if it's too doughy in the middle, the next batch you want to leave it a little longer. So those are ready now. I'm gonna turn the second batch that I put. Yeah, or I think that for yours, you will have to put like double the amount of flour. and leave them. They need to be a little darker than than your first batch.
Well, my first one, like this one, was super crunchy.
Okay. It's not. Isn't it too doughy in the middle?
But then this one, this one I didn't cook as much.
Okay, you can throw it back in there, back in the oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll know right away if it tastes doughy.
So, like I said, I usually leave them like 2 to 3 minutes each side. This is the part that you don't want to rush. We tend to rush. I tend to rush this part because I just wanted them to be like done, but you don't want to rush this because it's gonna be raw in the middle.
Well, I ate my first batch. Oops.
You did. So I guess it was good. There you go, Suzanne. It's looking good.
She's got her thermometer there.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's been getting, it doesn't, you know, this was gifted to me, the induction burner, so I don't know if it's a good brand or not, but it's having a hard time keeping a good temp. That's okay.
They're looking good.
I have a same
Let's see,
thermometer. I really love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
So-
thermometers
it's so
are amazing.
great.
And you can
Yeah.
use it to cook things.
For yeah, it's just so
Okay.
great.
Thermo pen.
Yeah, works so nice, and you can just stick it in. It's instantaneous, so you can stick it in meat or fish or something, and you get immediate temperature. Rather than the old style ones where there was a lag.
So my second batch is ready. They're golden brown, and I left them 2 minutes each side. And I'm just gonna put them here on the napkin. So this is the first batch that I made.
Looks good.
Yeah, they will look a lot nicer with, the star piping tip. But
Right.
this is about how it looks. It's pretty current.
Take a bite. Take a bite.
Take a bite. Mm,
You're good.
it's really good. It's
Yeah.
really crunchy in the outside. Maybe I should have left them maybe
Good
1 minute,
job.
1 more minute. But it's good. Okay, so while the others do, I'm gonna try to finish this, my third batch.
What happened to golden brown? Or
They get too crunchy on this gluten-free because it's primarily rice flour.
oh, that's right. You're using different flour. I forgot.
Yeah, the first one I did the golden brown, and it was like almost burnt.
Uh-huh.
In
Yeah, I forgot you're using
texture.
different flour.
so yeah.
Well, that may have also accounted for the difference in consistency of the.
Yes, absolutely. It's gluten free. It's not easy. No matter what you're making.
I mean, it's hard enough with regular flour
Right.
in some respects.
But I made a circle churro.
There you go. There's the one that could go in the salt and cinnamon and sugar pan.
Yeah,
Mine are lumpies.
That's okay.
it's
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, mine are definitely funny shaped.
Yeah,
I mean, the only reason they do it the way Rocio is doing it is that it cooks uniformly because it's uniform in size.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason not to just have it like a big clump of dough.
Right.
And you can pack it in a bag better.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And
which is what
Sam,
they
I think
do.
next time I would just use like a wider pan, so it will give you more and it will give you more space, and also put like only like 3 at a time. So it will
Okay.
Yeah, I
keep it
would
free.
use I would use what we call a saute pan, which is like a skillet with, but with straight sides.
Yeah.
And that way you could put oil in it, is enough oil, but it still would be, well, I guess it doesn't make any difference how deep the pan is actually,
Right.
but
But it will give
What's
you
nice is that this pan works on the induction burner. The other ones I have do
well,
not.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. My saute pan is really big. Even though I guess you could have it in a smaller size, but I use it a lot. When I do use the burner, I use it, so. I like buy a pound of mushrooms and then I slice them and saute the whole pound and then I have them in the fridge where I just use them as necessary. Add them to different things.
While this is frying, do we want to work on the chocolate sauce? Or
well, the only thing is that I burned my churros because
oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't concentrate on two things.
me neither. I mean, I could, but I'll mess up probably.
No, you're right. You guys, yeah, I burnt things, so I'm just impatient.
Let's see. There you go.
Well, I could tell you a sort of churro / donut related story if you'd like to hear a story.
Yes. Okay.
So when I lived in Mexico, there was a lot of expats there and some entrepreneur, I'm sure he was probably a Mexican who had lived in the States, and he said, oh, Americans love donuts. I'm going to start a donut shop. And all the Americans and foreigners were all excited. Oh, we're going to have a donut shop. We're going to have a donut shop. So the guy opens a donut shop, and the first morning, people come to the donut shop to have their donuts, and there's no donuts. And they said, well, how come there's no donuts? He says, well, I'm cooking them. They'll be ready like around noon. And the people said, well, in America, people eat donuts, early in the morning. Oh, to do that, I'd have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and start. And they said, yeah, well, that's what donut makers do in the US. They get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and they start preparing. So the donuts will be ready at 6 o'clock. To make a long story short, the donut shop didn't last very long because he only had day-old donuts.
Oh no.
So this idea, I mean, usually churros are, I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Donuts taste good for lunch, but it's just not in our culture, right?
That's right. And I don't think Mexicans eat churros for breakfast.
No, this is usually more like a merienda.
It's like an afternoon or evening snack, or you go out in the night market or stuff like that, or in the afternoon somebody's doing it. It's not in the morning.
Exactly. Okay, so your churros are looking good. Are they crunchy, or are you getting them? Get the crunch?
Yeah, they're very crunchy. I mean, look, it just breaks.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But it doesn't get very golden. I made the first batch really golden. And the gluten-free flour, it was completely crunchy, almost burnt when it was golden.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably.
But I've tried to make some lumps here too of them. But yeah.
My big circle churro, it's pretty golden.
Look at yours. That looks perfect.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, mine are like these. Look at that, extreme ugly squiggles.
We'll call those freestyle churros.
It's like, I'm sure they taste fine, but I mean, I know they taste fine. I've
Hey.
ate a couple, but.
That's what matters.
And then I've made some that I just like drizzled them in a circle, a small one like that. See, like almost like a mini, what do they call them? Elephant ears
Uh-huh.
at the fairgrounds.
Yes. My kids love that. Anything that is fried and has sugar, we love. All right. So I'm finishing coating. Here, my last batch. And
So I can tell you that these do not look golden and they're funny shaped, but they taste
that's
absolutely great.
delicious. Okay,
Like
don't
you
need
said,
them all.
crunchy on the outside.
Perfect. That's what you want. Crunchy on the outside
Yep.
and soft in the inside, but not gooey.
Might need to be thicker, but the nozzle doesn't let it go thicker, so
Okay.
that's okay. That's okay.
You know, we find out that in Mexico City the churros are thin. I went to Costa Rica last month, and I of course I had to try churros, and their churros are also very thin.
They
When I
cook
ordered-
cook faster.
They cook faster.
Probably.
When I ordered churros here in Carbondale at La Única, their churros are definitely much wider, thicker. I mean, wider. I don't know what to call it. But... Okay, so I'm gonna cut my big churro here.
All right, that's the last one I have.
Okay, perfect.
Look at yours. Yours are perfect looking.
Well, it takes practice, like everything, right?
Yeah, she's the pro.
Yeah, because with the churro is that exactly like practice. Well, we try to make them every month. What's funny though is we bought a churro maker on the Walmart website, and we thought, well, for the price is really good. It's like $150. When it came in, it was like a massive, like it was like an industrial churro maker. When we put it together, like it will go almost all the way from my counter to the top to the ceiling.
This
Wow.
this is for people that have to have churro stand where they're selling churros in the market.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But you never think, right? Like with $150, it will be like that complicated of a thing, and it was. So it's still sitting in my garage. I haven't used it. I'm afraid of it. I'm just sticking to the can.
You just need to go to the churro guy that's making churros and ask him if he wants to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll probably take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start moving. You don't have to
Take a picture for Orr. He likes to have a picture. So that's a nice presentation you have on the plate there.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
And I'll take a picture of mine so you can say that's how it's not supposed to look.
Could be a
at this
before and
one.
after.
That's like, that's just like,
Looks like calligraphy in dough.
yeah, that's how mine are. But
Okay, so I have this little cup where I bought
Oh,
in
look
Mexico.
at this. Nice.
So for the chocolate is like so simple. Seriously, like it's almost too simple.
don't worry, I'll manage to mess it up.
Oh, you won't. Okay. So I do like same amount chocolate, same amount, half and a half. And all you want to do is like melt this. It is that simple. So you can either do it on the stove or you can do it on the microwave, in the microwave.
So whatever you do, like 1 cup of chips and 1 cup of half and half,
Yes,
or
if you
whatever,
want to
whatever
do
the
this,
ratio.
exactly. Oops. And
And
I
I
usually do it in
mentioned
this.
I'm using evaporated milk.
Okay.
Or did you
perfect.
say condensed milk would be better?
I would
No,
say
condensed milk I think
evaporated
is
milk.
too sweet.
Yes, that will
Yeah.
be too sweet. Yeah. And I
'Cause
usually
you already have the sugar on the churros.
there you go. Yeah, you
You
already
don't
put
want
the sugar in
too
the
much
center.
sugar.
Yes, exactly. You don't want to sweet. So I'm just gonna put it in the microwave, and I'm gonna try to do like 1 minute at a time.
Otherwise it'll boil over.
Exactly. And also the chocolate can burn.
You want to do 1 minute and stir it up a little bit.
Yes, I think that would be the best.
Boy, it looks like Suzanne's going to have a churro party.
I'll have their lump parties.
You want to try it even?
Sure.
Okay, here's my son. He's a churro expert. Is it good?
Nice.
That's good.
How you grade it?
How many churros do you have to eat before you become a churro expert?
A lot.
You gotta go international too.
Lots. Oh yeah, lots of experience.
Lots of
right here.
experience. Yes, we do have lots of experience.
Mhm.
Okay, so she's 1 minute in the micro and then stirring the chocolate at the bottom.
Just stir it, yes.
All right, I'm just doing it at a low temperature. I can tell you that gluten-free flour is really, really, really sticky. It's all like all over the place.
And what's the base of it?
Rice flour,
Rice?
Right. Okay.
and rice and potato starch. I think were the two ingredients.
Yeah, probably if you did it a couple of times, you'd get the combination right of the ratio, maybe less, more moisture or less water or who knows what.
Yeah, so
trial and
the
error.
original hole I put in the piping bag was too thick and it just came out in like basically like donuts, blobs.
Yeah,
Then I made it really thin, or I didn't even cut it off. I just cut a slit.
yeah,
And then it just came out, you know, these are about, I don't know, the size of my pinky,
yeah.
but they taste absolutely phenomenal. They don't look great, but I'm the one eating it, so I'm not picky. But
That's all
definitely not something I'd be selling. But
yeah, I've seen
But-
there is a store I think in Chicago. It's called Churros and Chocolate. And I came up with that because I was searching on web, you know, for our ministry, and that popped up, and I'm like, oh, that's good. Like, it looks good. They have like, I don't know, like 20 different kinds of churros. They have savory churros, churros with cheese, and churros with a lot
Yeah,
of.
this is kind of sounds like, you know, where you take a something that's like from Mexico and then you bring it to the US and then you Americanize it by making 100 different flavors of
100 different
churros.
flavors, yes. That's exactly right.
Now you want the sauce like pretty thick, right?
Yes, you want it thick, yes.
All right, I think I need to add some more chocolate to it. Wait, more chocolate? I don't know if I could handle that.
I'm gonna put a little more chocolate in mine.
I think that should be a part of every recipe. Whenever you have chocolate, add more.
Definitely gonna put okay.
Because like, if you have leftovers of this chocolate sauce, you could just add it to milk and make chocolate milk.
There you go.
This might be a good for the for your jar. This would be maybe good with an immersion blender.
Yeah, totally.
Stick it down in that jar, and boy, that thing will turn out like smooth syrup.
Oh yeah, that. But you'd have to make sure the chocolate was well.
Yeah, after it is all kind of melted, but you're trying to blend it all together. That's why I say an immersion blender would take care of that. Not only that, it'll take the chocolate and what little pieces, it'll grind it, sort of grind it all up.
All right. I can't even wait until this chocolate's done. I'm gonna have one.
Yours is looking good. It's looking good, or very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is looking messy, but what I usually do is that if I have leftovers, I just like, that's why I like to melt it in the mason jar. So I would just stick it in the refrigerator and just put it back in the microwave.
Yeah, and in a pinch, you could buy some chocolate syrup.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think
Yeah, but I have yet to have a chocolate syrup that
That's cheating.
tastes like. I'm sure they have chocolate syrup out there that actually tastes like, but I don't know. I feel like they add a lot of something to it to make it.
I'm sure they do.
your chocolate looks really good, or
Mm-hmm. Now I just need anything to just cover with chocolate.
Yeah.
You could just dump all your churros right into that pan with the chocolate.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll really get
Well,
coated.
if I put it in here, it probably turns soggy, so probably have
Yeah,
to
that's
dip
true.
it in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Susan, your churros look really, really nice.
Here's the syrup.
Ooh,
Oh, look at that. Looks
perfect.
good. Nice and smooth.
how did you make yours?
Microwave.
Ah,
Microwave with just chocolate chips and heavy whipping cream.
and in the open bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe whipping cream makes it a lot more the consistency is much better, I guess.
Yep.
And I always put cover over all that stuff if it's gonna pop and might pop and spray around in your microwave.
What I did is I took it out after 30 seconds and mixed it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah.
And that was good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've
All right, look
reheated
how nice
things
and
in the
thick that is.
microwave occasionally. For some reason, there's a little bubble or something that pops and just sprays all over the microwave.
Mm-hmm. My chocolate, I don't know, for some reason it didn't turn out well this time. Of course, because we are in camera, right? But it's right. It's gonna taste delicious.
Okay, there you go. Get your camera and take a picture of that.
Yes,
That looks nice.
perfect.
All right.
I'll send you this picture, guys. Looking great. So How's it going for everybody?
Excellent.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
I think I'm done yet.
Great. So this will be your churros and chocolate.
Yeah, and I could see with the piping tip, it gives it more uniformity when it's coming out.
Definitely. So, pretty
Here's
good.
mine so far. Lots
Pretty
of little
good
lumps.
percent. Very good.
They're kind of all over the place, and that's fine.
And that is fine, as long as it tastes good.
How can it not? But yeah, I mean, look at my snake.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
All right.
All right. How is it?
Oh, that's heaven.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I need to try those with gluten-free for my son. I'm definitely going to try those. Awesome. So
Yeah,
do
I
you
mean,
use- go
they
ahead.
don't have the beautiful consistency. Maybe with the piping things a little more, but
Definitely.
I mean, look, I mean, but it
Yeah.
definitely, it's all funny squiggles and stuff, but oh, it tastes good.
It tastes good.
I have a
I-
I have a question. I'm wondering if you if you buy the piping tips, could you use something like parchment paper? To roll it
For
up and
what?
make a cone of parchment paper to put your dough and stuff in it.
That's a good idea. I think you definitely can do it. You definitely can do it. I would do, like, if I'm gonna use the parchment paper, I would put a little more like flour to make the dough a little more like
Yeah.
not as runny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you won't
Well,
like
you know what you can do is if you have the insides of like a cereal bag. You know how you get the cereal boxes and inside there's the bag that
Yeah.
contains the cereal?
Yeah.
Those make really good bags that don't split at the seams.
Oh, good
And
point.
you could just take it and just take the bag and then drop the piping tip in the cut it out so it's not too huge. You need the tip to sit
Right.
in the hole. You
Yeah,
could try
that's why
that.
that's why the tip is kind of wider at the top at one end, so it doesn't drop through the hole.
That's awesome. All right, guys, how you feel? Do you guys want to move to make some horchata?
Yes. I'm going to keep going at this, but I'm going to catch up.
Yeah,
I'll follow along.
absolutely. Absolutely. You wanna use your oil while it's hot.
Exactly.
All right.
So for the horchata, this is also a very, very traditional recipe in Mexico. My mother uses oats to make it, but I think because the rice upsets her stomach, but the original recipe is rice, just white rice. So what I did is I use 2 cups of white rice, and 3 cups of water, and I just like broke one of those sticks of cinnamon inside the water. So it will soften the rice, and it will be a lot easier to mix it. So I did this overnight. You want to do it at least, I'll say 5 to 8 hours just to soak it. I mean, 5 to 6 hours. So it will be much easier. But this is very, very simple. So this is all you do for the horchata. And once you have this overnight, you're gonna mix that with sugar, and you're gonna mix that with milk. Now I've used coconut milk to make this. Of course, the recipe that we send you, the link, it calls for whole milk, but you can make this with any kind of milk. Of course, the original recipe is with whole milk. But all I'm gonna do is put the rice that I left overnight. like
So
soaking
that's the
overnight.
rice and the water, right?
Yes, exactly. Now we're gonna try to make. Also, you don't want to be you don't want to overcrowd your mixer. So total should be 4 more cups of milk for the 3 cups of rice, for the 2 cups of rice, sorry. So 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of water overnight, and then that you're gonna mix with 4 cups of milk, a little bit at a time.
So in total, you have 7 cups of liquid.
Correct. Now sugar, of course, is up to you, right?
How many cups of, let me look at the ingredients. How many cups of rice was it?
Well, I think the recipe says 1, but I'll put 2 cups of rice. It's just because 1 cup of rice will not be enough for. I mean, it will be like two glasses. That's not enough in our house. So I'm gonna start with sugar, just to start with, because this is pretty sugary.
I'm going to use the leftover cinnamon sugar from the churros.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Don't waste that sugar.
Great idea.
I think.
So if I didn't
1
soak
cup.
the rice, I should just do that now and then just take care of that and make it later.
I would. I mean, you can try it, but it's gonna take a little
Now,
longer to get the
Yeah.
consistency.
Okay.
I saw one recipe that just said put hot water in instead of soaking it. But you have to blend it a lot longer. So if you have a good quality blender, so it's more like an instant, but it tends to be more more granular. It has more texture to it, less smooth.
Okay, got it.
So
Yeah.
the longer you, that's what I read. I don't know. I've never made this before. So
Yeah, I think
I always
maybe
assumed, I always thought how you made horchata, you got rice and you cooked it and you just kept adding milk to it and it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So like 3-4 hours you're cooking it.
Yeah.
You keep adding more water and more rice. I mean, milk to it until it's like a liquid. That's what I always assumed. And when you said, oh, just put it in a blender, I started like going on the internet and looking everywhere. And I was just like, oh my God, it's so quick to make.
It is so quick to make. So
Because
just
I always bought the horchata powder.
of course, you can always buy the horchata, but why buy that when you can make it at home? And it's just so simple, right?
Yeah, just fresh rice.
So I'm gonna pour some of the milk.
Okay.
I'm eating so much of this stuff, I'm gonna get sick.
So this right here, I forgot to soak the rice. So I put the rice, the hot water, what, a half a can or the evaporated milk, and blended it, and it is like the most frothy. Look at that. Oops, not on camera. And the leftover cinnamon sugar. This is my second cup already. All right.
Okay. Now you want to use one of these before you pour it in your cup.
Oh, to filter out the bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise it's going to be just, you're going to feel like the rice there. So that's something that definitely you want to do. You can use one of those like cheesecloths, or you can use like one of those for coffee too.
Yeah, I haven't filtered it, but there's definitely little bits of rice still on the bottom of the blender.
Yeah, you can see mine too. That's why it's so important to make it in batches, because it's going to be like a lot.
So definitely better to soak it.
I'm going to use the last of my rice here.
Now, do you always use raw rice? You never use cooked rice?
No, it has to be raw. You can get the whole consistency of it. Because when it's cooked, you already pour all the things that you know that you want to get out to make the water.
Oh, you lose some of the nutrition, yeah?
Exactly. I'm gonna silence it because it's very annoying.
It'll automatically silence. I don't think she heard me. That is so good how the rice like makes it creamy. But
I'm gonna just finish up my churros first.
well, it was just too much sugar for me, so I like needed some cleansing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is kind of a lot. I'm getting a little sugar overloaded right now.
Yeah.
And I actually put, I don't like things super rich, so I didn't put as much milk. I put more water than milk
Mm-hmm.
in mine. But I have had to blend it 2 or 3 times because I'm using dry rice and it's not really blending as well.
I'm getting the horchata here. Definitely squeeze all that product from the rice.
It's so quick and easy to make.
Very quick and easy, yes. And you can continue like mixing this rice until you get the most out of it, right? But you should get the horchata. So out of this batch, so it's almost like what, half gallon? And so I just put a little bit of ice there in my glass. And just pour the horchata. I usually just like put a little bit of cinnamon there. Want to put up more cinnamon? Usually do it there, right here in my cup.
So the sticks you soaked with the rice, did you blend that also or took
Yes.
that out?
Yes. Yes, I broke
Well,
down.
you had those sticks that you soaked with the rice and you blended that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
The
okay.
whole thing, that mixed with the water, the rice, and the cinnamon.
Do you ever add like cayenne or anything to the chocolate?
I don't, but you're free to try it. That sounds pretty good.
Mhm.
Cayenne pepper. How's your horchata?
Mine? I'm not making it.
This is,
No, I see Oris drinking it.
oh man, yeah, this is my third cup.
Is it?
Well, I didn't use as much milk
Mm-hmm.
because all I did was I had the 1 can of evaporated milk. I used half for the
Okay.
chocolate and half for this. So I didn't use very much milk. But part of it is I don't like milk that much. So it's more like a flavor instead of the primary.
More
So it's like, to me, it tastes like, it has the milk taste, but it's like light and refreshing.
Mm. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. So I brought this in Costa Rica. This is called a chorreadora. So this is, I guess, this is how they make dripping coffee in Costa Rica.
Mm.
And it's just like a cloth here, like a little bag made out of cloth. And this is pretty much like their coffee maker. That it's really, really cool. And whenever you go to any restaurant, this is how they will make their coffee there. So just some ground coffee, because I like to put that in my horchata. That's what I like. So I put 1. This is just like espresso, right? Like an indigenous espresso machine. 1 spoon of
So you're just making coffee flavored horchata, yeah?
yeah. It's just to make it a little bit. So put a little bit of boiling water right there. And I love this. And I went to the market and I bought this to bring home. This is called a chorreador. So this is how they make coffee in Costa Rica. Like everywhere you go, even to the fanciest restaurants, of course, these things will be like much nicer, right? And bigger. But I got this at the market. And then I thought, oh, I'm gonna try this, whatever, it's kind of espresso. You get this thick coffee, and I just like to pour it in my horchata because I love coffee.
Oh, nice.
With the cinnamon there, that's really.
And it's really like thick and frothy. That I mean, blending it makes it very like bubbly. Yeah, definitely good fresh.
Yeah, it's one of those things that either you like it or not. Horchata, not many people, and because it takes a lot of sugar, not many people enjoy it. But it's also very, very simple. Very, very simple. I hope you enjoy, guys. Enjoyed the churros and the horchata today.
Thank you. And this is the best. Anybody have any final questions? This was a lot easier. My churros didn't come out looking good. They taste phenomenal. And I can tell you right now, I'll be making that horchata probably 3 times a week. It's
excellent.
Because I buy the powder and I just like mix the powder. And this is fresh and it takes just as quick.
Yes.
As mixing the powder.
It is as quick. And you can put, like you said, as much water or as much milk. as you want it. You could use whatever milk you want and thick as you want it, but the flavor really will come out. The more you ground that rice, you know, and the finer it gets, it will be a lot easier to mix. So for reasons of time, we had to do it quick, but the idea is that you continue to mix and mix and mix until you get the most out of that rice.
All right. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yes.
Muchísimas gracias.
De nada. It was such a pleasure, guys.